Hello, and welcome to Inspire to Live. Continuing on You Are What You Think, we focus on how your thoughts patterns reinforce your beliefs and how you can create a new reality. So if you think you're a failure, you'll feel like a failure, and then you'll act like a failure. As long as you give attention to the thought that you're a failure, you'll continue to experience this reality, which then reinforces your belief that you must be a failure. This is called a thought pattern, and it has the power to destroy your life. A thought pattern is a habit of thinking in a particular way. In his book, Rewire Your Brain, psychologist John Arden writes, "The more you do something, the more likely it is that you will do it again in the future. Repetition rewires the brain and breeds habits. The more the neurons fire together, the more likely it is that they will fire together in the future." Every thought we experience creates a chemical reaction in the brain which then triggers an emotion. As we engage with this thought, it creates a new circuit that sends a signal to the body and we react a certain way. The more we repeat this pattern, the more it seeps into our mind and becomes a habit. This is why neuroscientists say cells that fire together wire together. As you keep thinking the same thoughts, producing the same emotions and performing the same actions, you continue to live by the same experiences. As we repeatedly engage in the same thought patterns of think, feel, do, these patterns encode as a blueprint in our subconscious mind. And what does our subconscious mind do? It runs 95% of our life on automation. As Dr. Bruce Lipton explains, neuroscientists have shown that most of our decisions, actions, emotions and behavior depend on the 95% of brain activity that is beyond our conscious awareness, which means that 95% of our life comes from the programming in our subconscious mind. This is why it's so hard to make change happen. It's because we've repeated the thought patterns so many times that they've now become rooted in who we are. Our thought patterns reinforced our beliefs, and our beliefs came to define who we are and the reality we experience. Psychologist Amy Morin explains that once you draw a conclusion about yourself, you're likely to do two things: look for evidence that reinforces your belief and discount anything that runs contrary to your belief. If you develop the belief that you're a failure, you will view every mistake you make as proof to affirm that you are, indeed, a failure. And when you do succeed at something, you'll credit it to luck. And this is how your thoughts create your reality. As you continue to think you're a failure, you continue to feel and act in a way that reaffirms your belief. What happens next? You dwell and fall into a trap of self-pity. Remember: 1. As you keep thinking the same thoughts, producing the same emotions and performing the same actions, you continue to live by the same experiences. 2. As we repeatedly engage in the same thought patterns of think, feel, do, these patterns encode as a blueprint in our subconscious mind. 3. Your subconscious mind automates your life, which means, if you're not aware of your thought patterns, you will continue to live by the same behavioral patterns, and thus, your current experiences. As per Carl Jung's words, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. As we repeat thought patterns, they become subconscious behavioral patterns that drive our life. So how do you change your reality? You create new patterns that create a new reality. You recondition yourself. This isn't something that you change overnight. This is a lifetime commitment to mindful reprogramming and growth. It's what neuroscientists refer to as neuroplasticity, the idea that you can rewire your brain by creating new behavioral patterns where new cells fire together and wire together. And in order for you to do this, you need to understand that you are not your thoughts. You are the thoughts you give power and attention to. You are the thinker. Your thoughts are nothing more than an endless stream of ideas running through your mind. They are powerless until you decide to cling onto one of them, which then trickle into a chain. This very act makes you the thinker of your thoughts. In other words, imagine your mind to be a farm and your thoughts to be the seeds. You can plant either good seeds, roses, or bad seeds, poison ivy. Whichever seed you choose to focus on and plant, it will then grow and multiply. And the same happens in your mind: whichever thought you choose to focus on and plant, it will then grow and multiply. You are the planter of the seeds. You are the thinker of your thoughts. Do you want your mind to flourish into a garden of roses or a farm of poison? So how do you create new behavioral patterns? You create new thought patterns. And how do you do that? Here's how. 1. Increase your awareness by observing your emotions and body reactions. 2. Be more conscious of what thoughts you give your attention to. It's what psychologists call metacognition. The idea of thinking about our thinking. The next time you feel a strong emotion, Bring your attention to it by pausing and asking yourself, what's going on in my mind right now? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I angry? Why am I upset? Why am I feeling low? This can help us figure out why we're feeling what we're feeling and drive us back to the root cause of these feelings, the thoughts we first gave our attention to. As the author and master trainer of neurolinguistic programming Michael Neal explains, it's not the thoughts that pass through your head that impact your life, it's the one you take possession of and think about all day long. Once we agree to give our attention to a thought, it becomes more and more real to us over time and has more and more power over our life. It triggers an emotion, which then triggers a body reaction and drives us to act in a certain way. This thought pattern creates a mental circuit in our brain, and as we repeat it, it becomes a subconscious behavioral pattern that runs on automation. This is how your thoughts shape your reality. This is why you are what you think. And this is why all the great minds and thinkers agree that we live in a world of thought. Our thoughts create our experiences, and thus, we experience what we think. The quality of our thoughts creates the quality of our life. Remind yourself of the power of the thoughts you give your attention to. They become your beliefs and they go on to define your life and how you experience it. You are what you think. This is Inspire to Live. Thanks for watching.